Hi, and thanks for joining me in today's yoga video. Today's practice will be a slow yoga flow that's great for a bit of internal reflection and some time just to observe your body and the state of your mind. I encourage you to be patient with yourself, take deep breaths, and enjoy this time just for you. We'll begin lying down on our back. Get comfortable here. Take a few deep breaths. And then bring the knees in and rock gently side to side. Feel a slight massage on the lower spine. And begin to deepen the breath. In this practice, we'll hold each pose for around 5 breaths. From here, cross the left ankle over the right knee for a reclined pigeon pose. You can thread the hands through the legs and gently pull the knee towards the chest. If it feels good in your body, you can continue rocking side to side. Observe if certain areas have tension, and see if you can bring a bit of intention with your breath to those areas, working to soften them. Great. Release that, and let's switch, bringing the left ankle over the right knee and pulling the thigh gently towards the chest. Breathing deeply here. Great. Gently release the feet onto the mat, and we'll windshield wiper the knees from one side to the other, just warming up the spine and the hips. Continuing with deep breaths in and out through the nose. Great. Bring the knees to center and then flip over onto your stomach. We'll come into a Sphinx pose with the elbows aligned under the shoulders and forearms pointing straight out. Feel this arch in the back and keep your gaze forward. Breathe deep, feel the belly press into the mat. Relax the shoulders. And then we'll gently release into a tabletop position. You can pad your knees here if you like. Take your time between each pose and move with care. Once you arrive in your tabletop position, we'll move through cat-cow. Moving with your breath, dropping the belly, and then arching the back. Again, listening and observing the body, and then making a movement that supports the need of your body. Great. Come to a neutral spine, tuck the back toes, send the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet here, bending one knee and the next. Pressing through the fingers in the space between the thumb and pointer finger. Continue breathing here. Feel the stretch in the upper body and in the hamstrings. And from here, lift the right leg up high, three-legged dog, and then squeeze the knee up and in and plant it between the hands. Drop the back knee and rise up to a low lunge. Arms can be overhead, on the hips, or at the heart. And we'll breathe here, observing the alignment of your body, how small adjustments impact how you feel. Release the hands and send the hips back into a half split here, pointing the front toes up towards the head. You can fold forward any amount. Breathing into the stretch. And then we'll gently rock forward. So tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and open up to a twist on the right. Hold here. Gaze can be up or straight ahead or down. Really press through the back heel and release the hand. Step back to plank. We'll hold here briefly and then send it up and back to downward facing dog. Great. Let's go on the other side. Lift the left leg, three-legged dog. Knee comes up and in, and we'll plant the foot in between the palms. Lower the back knee and rise up, low lunge. You can determine your hand placement. You should feel a stretch in the front of that right hip. And breathe here. Release the hands, frame the front foot, and send the hips back into a half split. Folding forward, flexing that front foot. You can keep as much of a bend in the front knee as you need. From here, we'll come back to low lunge, tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, plant through the left palm, and open up to the right for a twist. Hold here. Press through the back heel. One more breath. And we'll bring the hands down, step back to plank pose. Hold here. And then send the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Great job. Lift the right leg up high, three-legged dog. Plant the foot between the hands. This time keep the back knee lifted and rise up for high lunge. Arms can be overhead or on the hips. You can keep a slight bend in the back leg to bring the hips really under you for this alignment with the heart and the head. Hold here, you've got this, keep breathing. And then bend that back knee and bring that back foot up to meet the other foot, and we're in chair pose. Sink a little deeper into the hips. Breathing. And then we'll rise up and enjoy this mountain pose. Great. From here, let's go for a quad stretch on the right leg. So grabbing the right foot. Avoiding sinking into that left hip. Gently release and we'll grab the left foot. Rolling that shoulder back, really opening the chest here. And release the foot. From here, we'll send the hips back when we're back in chair pose. Arms overhead, knees bent. And we'll hold here, sinking down as low as your body allows today. And from here, we'll gently place that left foot behind us and rise up into a high lunge. Keeping the front knee bent. And release. Plant the palms on the mat. Step it back to plank pose. And send it back to downward facing dog. Take what you need here, maybe a child's pose. Once more, lift the right leg up. This time, we're coming into pigeon pose. Bring the shin forward into pigeon pose so the shin is somewhat parallel to the edge of the mat. And then we'll fold forward any amount. And if you need a bit of support for your head, you can stack two fists, one on top of the other, and rest your head there. Great. Gently rise up, plant the back toes, step back to downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. We'll go on the other side, lifting the left leg, three-legged dog, and then swinging shin forward into pigeon pose. Really stretching out through that back leg and finding the positioning that works for your body. And we'll stay here for a few breaths, enjoying this stretch and this time for yourself. Slowly rise back up, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. And from here, we'll drop to our knees, spreading them wide, and send the hips back, child's pose. Extend the arms out long. Find your safe space here, taking deep breaths. Moving with gentleness and care, find your way to laying back onto the mat. Bring the knees in yet again, and we'll rock side to side, just noticing if you observe any differences from the beginning of the practice. Extend the arms out and drop the knees to one side for a recline twist. Taking deep belly breaths. We're nearing the end of our practice. Go ahead and switch to twist on the other side. Bring the knees back to center. Before we move into Shavasana, take any final movements that your body craves. And we'll end our introspective practice with Shavasana here, allowing the body to fully relax into the mat, closing the eyes, slowing the breath, and fully surrender to this present moment. Begin to gently wiggle the fingers and toes. Maybe bring the knees in and softly open the eyelids. Roll to one side and make your way to a seated position. We'll end our practice with a final breath together, in and out. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I hope this video was helpful to you. Bye.